The latest DC Finest is out. Team Ups, The Impossible Escape. Bob Haney, Jim Aparo. This book cost me about £21.50 from Books, etc. Copies in the States, $39.99. It's got 560 pages. Let's just go through it. 1973 to 1975, 76. So we've got a couple of years go through. Most of the stories are brave and bold. There's a few other ones that are super teams, but mostly Batman and Atom, Flash, we've got Green Arrow, Wildcat, and so on. The artwork is superb all the way through. The restoration, I think, is absolutely brilliant. Now, I'd say a fair number of the stories are really good, not all. Now, I remember reading them at the time. I remember reading quite a few of them at the time. Now, I didn't get each and every issue, but certainly many of the ones, especially the 100 pages, which I always loved. This one is Batman and the Black Canary. Now, the stories are often set in weird locations, quite a few with planes and things involved, I noticed, and lots of decent stories. Now, I actually quite like, and there's a few of Sergeant Rock. I really quite like the ones with Batman and Sergeant Rock, Batman and Atom, etc. I was never a mega fan of Batman. He was okay, but personally, I always enjoyed these team-up stories. So this volume is really great to see. This one's a really good one, involving Hitler as well, with Sergeant Rock. Obviously, Batman and Hitler. No, that was a Sergeant Rock story. And then you got, obviously, the Demon there. That was an unusual one. Then we're on to Wildcat. Wildcat story there. Now, also, there was a Swamp Thing story as well. That's very good. There's another one of those 100-page giants. Love that one. Remember that story with Batman there, with the Joker at the end? Mr. Miracle. And they were good. At the time, I must admit, I was not very familiar with Mr. Miracle and all that sort of, obviously, Kirby work. But still, very enjoyable. This one was obviously about immortality. Also, we had Metal Men. I always loved the Metal Men, and I really would love to see a DC Finest come out with all these Metal Men ones. But so far, not so. I think there were some showcases. I assume there were some DC archives as well. Of course, you've got an Atom story here. That's good. Oh, and a Spectre one as well. Another 100 pages. Now, there were a lot around this time, about 73, 74, of 100 pages. Now, obviously, some of the stories, obviously these ones like Teen Titans, Silent Night, they do not appear here. I hope at some point we will get Silent Night and all those sort of maybe slightly less well-known characters. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it would be nice to see a book with those ones, obviously Viking Prince, etc. Another Batman and Sergeant Rock. That was a good story. And yes, another 100-pager. There were lots. And I also bought like the Detective Comics ones as well, with obviously the 100 pages as well. That was a good story though. Also got Wildcat and the Joker there. May the best man win/die. I am not a big Joker fan. I think they overdo Joker, but still, obviously, he's a very popular character. And you've got Commandy. I love these ones, obviously, showing there. That's, yes. I suppose a bit like Planet of the Apes here at this point. But it was good. Nice little time travel sort of story, done in a really weird way, but still all the same, very good. Metal Men again, another story with Metal Men. This one was very good with the Swamp Thing. Really great little story there. There is a Swamp Thing coming out fairly soon, I think. End of the year-ish, I guess. Metamorpho, another favourite character. I really love Metamorpho. And Plastic Man, of course. Really love the Plastic Man character. I hope they bring out some more DC Finest of him. Now, here's one, finally. There's not many, unfortunately. So if you're coming to this expecting Superman in it, because, let's just quickly show you the previous volume. Here's the team-up one. There's a lot of Superman in this one. Chase to the End of Time. This was the first one that came out. And the years covered are 78, 79 in this. So we're actually going back, which makes me wonder if they're going to bring out another volume where they're going to finish off the period 77, 78, 76, 77, 78, or whether we're going to get, of course, the earlier 60s. There were quite a lot of team-ups there I would love to see. But this one's really good. Like this one, Wildcat, Creeper. And then on to another Sergeant Rock. This is a weird one. This is one of the ones where you've got the artwork drawn, the story goes through, the writer, the artist needs to create the story with this bunch of It's odd. I've seen variations of this before. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, this is a good one. Another one of the super team ones. Of course, brilliant artist, Wally Wood. I mean, it's just great to see any Wally Wood. And this story with Flash and Hawkman and Hawkgirl as well. Very good. Batman and Flash, Streets of Poison. And then we've got another Wildcat story, and that was very good. Enjoyed that one. This one, excellent as well. Again, Mr. Miracle was not a character that I particularly knew well at the time, but of course you've got here New Genesis, Darkseid, etc. Darkseid doesn't turn up in this, but we've got here Batman, Green Arrow, and the Atom. Again, another really good story, totally decent story. Always enjoyed the ones with Atom. Always a big fan of Atom. I would love to gain another one that I would love to see as a DC finest. However, that's that story, and that is this book, presenting DC's finest stories. I think the one criticism I would have of this, there's very few story-wise. I think the stories are great. You've got these, but on the back, they show this Superman family, super team family, I should say. 2 books. Well, I guess, to be fair, there's 2 stories. All the others just get covers. That's it. They get covers because they featured, obviously, stories that were reprints. So fortune favours the brave and the bold. So we've got that. You can see the details there, obviously ISBN number. And this includes Brave and the Bold 106 to 130. And also Super Team Family 1 to 7. To be fair, just 2 stories as far as I can see. Please don't hold me on that, but I think it's 2 stories that we get from that. So we've got this. This is, of course, the one that came a little bit earlier. Team Ups, Chase to the End of Time. And here's the omnibus. Now, the omnibus I've got here. Now, there was a Batman Brave and the Bold omnibus volume 1. I haven't got it. I wish I had, actually, but I think it's been out of print for so long now. Hopefully, like I said, we get these DC finest to cover that period. Be brilliant if they did. But the stories in this one are slightly, you can see the overlap. So you've got here issues 110 now. The one that I've just looked at here is the one here. We're talking 106. So obviously we've got a few stories that were predating this. And it goes up to 156. So this one goes up to 130. So it's going to be an issue for that, I guess. The covering is not exactly mapped, exactly great. But still, really, really love this one. Of course, you've got the biggest size here. Now, the one thing, of course, in the DC omnibuses, unlike Marvel, they do not include all the letter pages. So you've got here, obviously the artwork is absolutely great. And I'm just going to quickly, let's just turn to one of the stories of around about the period. I now won't be able to find the actual book, the actual story, but let's just go and see approximately. There you are. So you can see the artwork, the size. I mean, it's a bit bigger. Again, omnibus, I love omnibuses, but to be honest, I really love this format because it's just a lot lighter. Storage of omnibuses, always a bit tricky. So that's, I think if they bring out a couple more team ups, I hope they do. I hope they do the whole lot. I might get rid of this. I don't, I'm not one for keeping everything, particularly for, it's fine. It's got the pages slightly bigger, but personally, I think the DC finest are fine. Oh, here is a Super Team Family one. And this is one reason I want to show you this one is because you can see obviously here, you've got this. It's this story here. This is the Wildcat story, the Creeper story that was included. Now, obviously, this one is very, very faded in comparison with the story in here. And again, I wouldn't be able to find it, I'm quite certain. I always should plan this from that fix so you can see exactly. But you can see, obviously, my pages are slightly faded, slightly brown. Now, that's why I love these. But they don't, it's not like Marvel. I find these actually quite bearable to look at. Sometimes the Marvel ones, I think, are just overly bright. So, oh, there it is. I have finally got it. So you've got that. You can see page size. It's about the same. That probably is absolutely identical. Now, I know a lot of people always turn around and say about the gutter. And you can see actually that is not great. You can't see there, and you can obviously, if I do that, just pull that back, you can see the gutter there. The gutter here is really crunched in, it looks like there. So slightly, but on the other ones, you can see that that's not such an issue. So maybe some are okay, but you can see some pages are a bit there, maybe a bit crunched in, obviously in the earlier ones. Okay, so we've got that. The reason I pointed this one out, this is a giant one, of course, and it does include that, but it also includes a Batman story. But the reason it wasn't included in the book is this. This is a classic tale. I think looking at it, it says, let's have a look, 1968, just about make that out. 1968. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually say the issue. Would have been nice, but they didn't include. Now, another thing that's not included, of course, are these adverts. Would have been nice. That would just fill the book up, of course. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't want those. And also you didn't get this, the Green Arrow one. And this one is from probably about 1958, 59. I don't know. Doesn't seem to say. And you can see there, you get that. Of course, you've got none of the adverts. Don't know if there's any. Let's have a look. Is there a... Nope, nothing like that. So that's that. But also, I've got these as well. These ones, I've got a couple actually. Let's just say 100-page ones are always my favourite. If I ever see one, generally I like to pick them up. Now, I should create a big index of all the comics I've got, because quite often I think when I get home, I think, have I bought it before? This one, obviously 113, 112 and 116. So these are great. Of course, you've got the brilliant, obviously, Brave and the Bold. They did. I don't know if they included that. Don't remember seeing that. It's possible. But you've got here 50-story killer. You've got that story. That one appears. And again, you can see obviously my copies. So I just love the Metal Men. Just great stories. Had fun all the way through, generally. But also you've got here Hawkman. That one doesn't get included. Obviously you've got here Hawkman, more Hawkman. Hawkman, a bit more Hawkman. Hawkman, a bit more Hawkman. And we got these again. These ones are not included. Actually, that would be really nice, wouldn't it? If they'd included those. Doom Control, etc. But you got Challenges of the Unknown. Also, these are not included either. Again, I would love to see these. I always enjoy, ripping the book. And also Viking Prince. Got Mr. Miracle, again, that story, the Immortal story, which I really good little story. Really enjoyed that one. And again, that's got lots of Silent Night, again, not included. And of course, Batman and Atom. I assume this one, the Dr. Fate and Owlman, will be included probably in any previous volumes they do, the 1960s ones, that those stories will be included. I hope they would, because of course these were Brave and the Bold, if I remember rightly. I don't know. Again, they don't seem to have the actual issue numbers in here. So this is a Super Team Supreme, Dr. Fate and Owlman. Very odd selection of characters, but still, Dr. Fate's great. Owlman, yeah. And also, you can see we've got Green Lantern as well, and the Viking Prince. So that is it. Are you picking it up, this one? The Team Ups book, The Impossible Escape. Again, the covers, I always think there's certain issues that look much better that they could use. But I guess they've got to choose something. But that's the one they've gone for. Obviously, you've got the back, you've got the 8 there, and the years covered 1973 to 1976. So is it on your list to buy? Are you going to get any future ones? Because, of course, there's the Robin one coming out fairly soon. I probably will get that one. Though I did have the DC Omnibus, one with, was it an archive? Whatever. I did have some earlier ones, collections of Robin. Also, of course, the Green Lantern ones, which I am looking forward to. Of course, the Green Lantern and Green Arrow ones. That is on my list, though I have got the black and white showcase for it. But for me, there are a couple of volumes that definitely I'll be getting. So I'm really pleased to got this one. Team Ups. Hope they continue with more of these Team Up volumes. Really love all these genre ones. I would love to see, of course, some crime, romance, all those sort of ones coming out at some point in the future. Hope you found this of interest. Comments, always appreciated.